Black men are not brute force and brute force only. And so I would really like to remind you all that anti-queerness is not natural or inherent to African peoples and the descendants of African peoples. That's not a thing for us. On the continent of Africa, predating colonization, when folks came over and interrupted what we were doing, there wasn't much anti-queer rhetoric or practices or laws to be found. Like, there were literal laws, right, in ancient whatever, Mesopotamia, Europe, whatever. Like, they had laws against queerness, right? They had laws against men marrying men and women marrying women. Like, there were laws. We didn't have that. That wasn't even in our psyche to outlaw or ban it, that wasn't our thing. And there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that's been presented by African scholars, right? People from the continent studying the continent before colonization, that gives us all the information that we need to come to the conclusion that homophobia is a byproduct of colonization. It is not natural to the African peoples. It is not inherent to us. And on the continent before colonization, we just did not operate and function in a way that was anti-queerness. We didn't do that. And I would really like to remind you all, since y'all want to be up in arms about Lakeith Standfield and want to say that once again, this is one of Hollywood's emasculization of the Black man rituals, I would really like to remind you all that you are feeding into the very bullshit that they want you to buy into. They want us to squabble and argue with each other over somebody wearing some high heels and some fishnet tights instead of really investigating what the true emasculization of the Black man is. Because that starts at home. It starts in school. Okay. It even starts in the womb with the trauma, right? That the person carrying them, that the woman carrying that Black man experiences from a Black man who as a child was told he cannot cry, that he must man up, that he must be brute force always, because if not, he cannot make it in this world. That is the true emasculization, okay, of Black men. I think that's how we emasculate Black men the most. Little Black boys. That's how you emasculate them, when you start with that dangerous ass rhetoric. I would like to remind you all that Prince wore heels, stockings, dresses. He had wives. He even had a child. May they rest well. So this outrage over Lakeith is confusion. It's confusion. Like, y'all want to operate in confusion. Do you know what confusion is? It's a choice. You all are deciding to be confused about how this man is dressing. So let's have a lesson. The emasculation, right? The emasculation of Black men has less to do with their clothing and more to do with the systems in place that keep Black men from getting the jobs and wages they deserve. The emasculization of Black men rests with the school to prison pipeline. It begins when Black boys are told not to cry for fear of how the world will respond to a Black man, a Black boy who shows emotion. Because if he can feel, then he is aware. And if he is aware, then he will become conscious. Then if he is conscious, it means he'll be conscious of what's being done to him in this world, on this land, on his land. The emasculation of Black man, okay, of Black men, is not about their clothing. It's about stripping him of the ability to think for himself, to feel his emotions, and to rise above this lowly status, right? To really rise above this lowly status that they wish to keep him in with fucked up school systems and messaging that tells him that all he's good for is dribbling a ball, rapping, entertaining white folks, or beating somebody up. Y'all stay worried about the wrong fucking thing. Y'all want to talk about the emasculation of Black men? Well, then stop talking about Medea and these quote unquote Hollywood rituals that you all know so much about, even when not being in the industry yourselves, and talk about the treatment of little Black boys in school and how they're treated at home, how little Black boys are raised up thinking they're no good and must be violent in order to survive and thrive. That's the real emasculation. The true stripping away of manhood, of the ever-prized Black masculinity, begins when y'all tell little Black boys to not cry, to man up. When you invalidate their feelings, causing them to have an imbalance with their divine feminine and masculine energy, because it be y'all. And that's what's so sad. It be y'all. It be y'all. It be y'all. The ones who claim to be so in tune with their energies and their chakras and their ancestors, it be y'all who spew this bullshit that the emasculation of the black man has to do with dresses, heels, and feminine clothing. I really want you to shut the entire fuck up, because y'all are right. You are not your ancestors. You're absolutely not your ancestors. Your ancestors had more respect for the balancing of masculine and feminine energy, and men created high heels. So let's just get into that conversation briefly. Like, go read about that. Women weren't even allowed to wear high heels. Like, okay, but it's a feminine fashion to do so, right? He's wearing a feminine clothing. Baby, high heels have only been okay for women to wear maybe in the last 100 years, if that. Like, seriously, it was scandalous for a woman to wear high heels. We were not allowed. There were literally laws against it. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be so ready to buy into the language and the rhetoric and the belief systems of the person that colonized you, the people that colonized you and really stripped you from everything that you knew. Y'all be so quick to adopt their methods and ways of being before you even go and study what you were doing before. The true emasculation of the black man has nothing to do with Medea or heels or dresses or skirts or makeup or whatever else y'all want to be focused on, okay? It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm telling y'all, the true emasculation of black men has nothing to do with Medea, with the high heels, with the dresses, with the makeup, with the skirts, or whatever else y'all are focused on. It has to do with what happens to them the moment they enter this space we call America. Because this fixation on the emasculation of black men is really like an American thing. Have y'all ever noticed that? It is. I really believe it is. It's specific to America, North America, or at least how y'all respond to it is, because y'all are so fixated on making black men something that they're not and have never been and won't ever be. Black men are not brute force and brute force only. Who taught y'all that? It's America that has y'all so fucked up in thinking and processing that y'all believe the emasculation of black men has something to do with the clothing they wear. Do you see how they distracted you again? Do you see how they got you confused by their tactics again? Do you see how they're making us fight? Do you see it? Can you see it? And can you read between it? Baby, who cares if Lakeith Standfield is wearing high heels, okay, an article of clothing that women weren't even allowed to wear until the last 100 years, and some stockings and a dress? Who cares? That's not how you emasculate black men. No, black men are emasculated long before they even know what a high heel or a fishnet tight is. The moment that you try to separate them from both of those energies, masculine and feminine, you are emasculating them. You're causing turmoil within the body. You're causing discord within the body and the spirit. Why do we want black men to exist in such strict binaries that it destroys them? It's not sustainable for black men to be brute force and brute force only. It's not sustainable for black men to live up to this imagined, and I'm going to repeat that, imagined reality of this kingly, ready to fight, just always strong, never shows a drop of emotion outside of I'm the man and the man knows what to do. Like, it's not sustainable. It's killing black men. And you know how we know it's killing black men? Because black men are harming each other. They're so afraid of each other. Why are they afraid of each other? Why are black men running around with guns wanting to shoot each other up? Why are they filling their music with wanting to harm one another? Because they can't exist outside of this binary. It's trapping them. Who's that rapper? I get at the Cardi or something, right? Playboy Cardi, who's changing up his look or whatever. Y'all are so quick to say he's gay, that's gay, he's gay. Y'all have never been to Africa a day in your lives, have you? Have you? Y'all ain't never seen a ritual. Y'all ain't never seen how they praise. Never. Never. Because if you think what Lakeith is doing or Playboy Cardi is doing is some emasculation ritual, then you need to go visit your continent. You need to go to Africa. You need to see. And don't visit the cities. No, get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. Okay? Go. Research. Go there virtually. Read the books. Look at how men express themselves. I remember in high school, I took a trip to Haiti with my school. And our teacher, chaperone, he was the organizer of the trip, but he also was like the lead chaperone, right? We were in Haiti and he wanted us to meet his brother. Now, of course, we black and other black kids understood this is not his actual, blood brother. This is his good friend, right? But whatever, he's like, I need you all to meet my brother. He'll be helping us, with our efforts in Haiti and everything. And so his brother comes up to him, they hug, they embrace, and they kiss each other mwah, mwah, on the cheek, like the French do, because Haiti. But then as they're walking us through his childhood area and neighborhood in Haiti, they're holding hands the whole time, right? Just really embracing each other. Also, he hadn't seen this man in almost 15 years, not face to face. So this trip to Haiti also was one of the first times that our teacher had even been back to Haiti in over a decade. So, a very emotional time. But as they're holding hands and we're walking and they're embracing each other, mind you, our teacher is married, has children, and is a heterosexual black man. There's no confusion there. But the young men on the trip with us, right? The boys in my class, black and white, couldn't help themselves from snickering the whole time. And, hey, yo, pause, every time they saw our teacher embracing his brother. And I remember being so uncomfortable with their responses. And I was like, what's good with y'all? I literally asked, what is good with y'all? And they were like, that's mad gay, they're holding hands. He gave him a kiss. Ooh. I said, huh? He's embracing a man who he grew up with, spent the first 30 years of his life with, and then hasn't seen in almost 15 years. They can't hold hands and walk down the street together and show us where they grew up. And what's crazy is the people walking past us didn't even look at them no type of way in Haiti. It was understood these men are clearly not a couple. They're just in an embrace because they love each other. They're friends, they're family, they know each other. And that's what I'm talking about. And I was less focused on how the white boys responded because I don't really care about y'all. But the black boys, I did sit down with my brothers because I was like, no. Y'all got to get out of this mindset right here, right now. That mindset is going to kill you. It is. And whether you do it to yourself or somebody, it's going to destroy your spirit. I said, we just watched our teacher embrace his friend who he hasn't seen in over 10 years. A kiss on the cheek. It's French culture. Stop. Y'all know that. Don't even be weird. Stop that. But on top of that, them holding hands. I said, why do y'all automatically go to being oh, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay? Why? Y'all can't hold hands? Y'all can't hug each other? Even for how long they were hugging. They was making jokes, yo, they hugging mad tight, it's mad long, hey, yo, Bro, baby, now the length of time in which you hug another man is questioning your sexuality. Y'all have to get out of it. It's destroying you. It's destroying y'all. It is destroying y'all. Black men are so fearful about exploring their feminine energy. And understand that feminine energy, masculine energy has nothing to do with sexuality or sexual orientation. That's what y'all got it wrong at. It's energy. It's yin and yang. It's energy. It's just the way that we as human beings are. We have energy. We have energy. Even if you're non-binary, you operate in feminine and masculine energy, though. Like, you don't have to identify as a man or a woman to be operating in masculine or feminine. It's an energy. It's just an energy. It's an energy state. It's a flow. It's an energy state. And I said, y'all, we were maybe like 14 or 15. And I'm like, yo, at these young ages, y'all are already buying into that. That's your colonized mind, babe. That's your colonized mind. I'm not even trying to give y'all no Dr. Umar. I'm just really saying, like, I really want y'all to think more critically about some stuff. Like, they really got y'all focused on the fact that this man is wearing high heels and tights and y'all can't even see past the bullshit. That is not the emasculation of black men. It's not. It's not. It's not. But y'all are right. Y'all are not y'all's ancestors, because your ancestors had far more respect for the balancing and the acknowledgement of these two energies, especially in the way that they manifest themselves through the black man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. If we're gonna move forward as a people, if we're gonna progress, we have to stop being divided, so to speak, on this type of bullshit. It's not important. They're not emasculating the black man when he wears a pair of fishnet tights and high heels on the cover of a magazine. He's not. They're not. They already did it before that black boy ever put on some high heels and some fishnet stockings. Because that's what I don't get. Like, in these conversations, the emasculation of the black man, like, y'all don't never talk about before he becomes a black man. Y'all never talk about what happens in childhood. Y'all never talk about the fact that, like, little black boys can't even express themselves. A little boy tells you he likes the color pink, and y'all ready to beat him down. Babe, first of all, blue, the color blue is what they used to wrap baby girls in. And pink is what they used to wrap little boys in. If you go back and watch, and I'm going to use Disney as an example, because Disney used to be America's, like, social morale marker and propaganda machine, right? All the princesses used to wear blue dresses, blue clothing. They were always in blue. Blue was the feminine color. Men used to be in, like, reds and pinks and golds. Those were the masculine colors. Then it switched for marketing purposes. So y'all are bonkers in the mind. Like, the color pink has only recently, I'm talking about recently, like the last 60 years, has become a color we associate with women and femininity. Baby, it used to be blue. Now y'all are ready to beat up your little brother, your little cousin, because he wants to wear pink, a whole outfit of pink, because that's girly, that's gay, that's man. 60 years ago, it would have been expected that little boy wears pink, because that's the masculine color. They be flipping and scripping and dipping and changing the rules on y'all so fast, y'all don't even notice it. And then y'all be like, the emasculation of the black man. Shut up. Read a book. Shut up. Like, shut up. Y'all are mad at little boys wanting to wear the color that little boys were expected to wear all the time, because that's how they identified the baby was a boy. He was in a pink blanket. And that's how they knew the little girl was a girl, because she was in a blue blanket. Y'all don't even be knowing that, though. And this is not even shade, no tea. Y'all don't know it because they don't tell you. They don't tell you because they don't want you to know. They want to keep you wrapped up in the bullshit. So we could be arguing about the emasculation of the black man. Boy, the emasculation of the black man happens before he even knows how to spell the word dress. Get over it. Start focusing on when it really happens so we can stop it from happening. Y'all got me fed up over some goddamn high heels and fishnet tights. Y'all better find a real issue. Y'all better find a real issue affecting the black community, because it's not that. And guess what? You're right. Y'all are not y'all ancestors.